I've noticed in all these tanks that there's always kind of like, at least for me, because of the way I do it, there's a tipping point. So I'm bad with planning and foresight and stuff, and I kind of always have a rough idea of what I'm going to do, but I don't really have the specifics like nailed out. So it takes sometimes quite a while for a tank to get to a state where I feel like it's now good. I mean, really good. Like it's now past, like it's something cool. And I think I'm here. I think I have gotten here. I have everything very balanced out. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Everything is growing in phenomenally well. Um, it's looking great. I'd like to fill that background patch in there with some more moss. I'd like to. I mean, but I guess that's about it. Just a little more moss in the background. I don't really have room for any plants. Um, I'm really hoping these two Helium-phora divisions. These are two divisions off this plant, so I'm hoping they grow in really well. Then I'll have 3 Helium-phora in here. This big plant just put out 2 new pitchers. They're looking nice. And then these divisions each have a new pitcher coming, so they're looking really nice. The moss is looking really good. It's growing in. I have like four types in here. I have a bunch of different types of moss. Those orchids back there, I just kind of left them back there. They were one of the first plants I put in. I kind of don't, it's not that I don't want them in there, but I can't, they're just back there, they're not hurting anything, so I got some epidendrum orchids back there. There's ants living in the air plants, there's ants living in the begonias, or in the bromeliads. I have some really, really nice bromeliad specimens in here that are less common to see in Vivaria, like this huge acme. You can see I got a staple through the leaf there, but until it grows roots, it's kind of necessary. But I've got these really nice bilbergia. I've got some more bilbergia over here. You can see that little pup is coming in off the stoloniferous rhizome. I don't really know, stolon essentially. I've got this other beautiful bilbergia or acme over here. I've got some neoza back in there. The neoza could take or leave, but I really like the bilbergias and the acmeas. And then my sister is actually giving me another beautiful bilbergia brasiliensis. So I'm pretty sure this is Acmea zebrina, which if it's Acmea zebrina, then it's gonna probably outgrow this vivarium. But that's something I'll have to deal with as the time comes or whatever, because it's too beautiful and kind of too entrenched in here to take out. These are Bilbergia saundersi. This is Acmea nudicalis. The cultivar is Piranha. And then this is some more Bilbergia saundersi here. I'd like to get some Neoregalia lilliputiana, just because they're tiny. They're like way smaller than anything in here. They're like 2 or 3 inch or 3 or 4 inches tall. So to give you a reference, the smallest bromelia back there is like 6 or 7 inches tall. So I'd like to get those really coming in off the top, but that's not pressing. The leaf litter is looking really good. It's actually full of 5 froglets right now. I see them every now and again, and then it's full of springtails, isopods, centipedes, mites, millipedes, ants, you name it. I got tons of microfauna in here, or mesofauna I should say, that I've curated. I just found some orange springtails. I don't recall the binomial name off the top of my head, but like some neon orange springtails, so I don't even think you can buy them. So that's pretty sweet. Got some Peperomia prostrata growing here. That I hear it's really slow growing. I know that any plant specimen that you look for sale that's any size at all is super expensive. Like they were selling like 6-inch pots for like $50, like 6-inch hanging basket style pots of this stuff for like $50. So that's bananas. I'm not gonna pay $50. So I liberated a small little cutting here and just kind of stuck it here, and it's already rooted up and growing. Everything grows pretty phenomenally well in here, and it's pretty impossible to kill anything just because I think that the mycorrhizal inoculant I use, it's a research grade one that my partner got from a laboratory, and it just makes things unkillable. I inoculate individually everything I put in here. So that's what's going on. I'm really loving this tank. I love looking at it. It's just a blast. Oh, and all the underwater part. I'll do a whole thing about the underwater part later, but the underwater part is sick. It's also really sick. So yeah, also underwater.